Map 2 Grow Presence, 14 Psychological Tricks to Immediately Make People Like You. Before starting the video, if you are new here, please subscribe. It's hard to say exactly why you like someone. Maybe it's their goofy smile, maybe it's their razor-sharp wit, or maybe it's simply that they're easy to be around. You just like them. But scientists generally aren't satisfied with answers like that, and they've spent years trying to pinpoint the exact factors that draw one person to another. Below, we've rounded up some of their most intriguing findings. Watch on for insights that will cast your current friendships in a new light and will help you form better relationships faster. 1. Copy the person you're with. One way to build a better connection with someone is to copy their actions without them noticing. This is called mirroring. If you talk to someone and copy their body movements, hand gestures, and facial expressions, they might start to like you more without even realizing it. Scientists found that when people copy each other, they tend to feel more connected. They studied 72 people who worked together on a task and found that when one person copied the other person's actions, they felt more connected and liked each other more. 2. Spend more time around the people you're hoping to befriend. Have you ever noticed that you tend to like people more if you've seen them before? This is called the mere exposure effect. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh tested this by having 4 women pretend to be students in a psychology class. The women showed up to class different amounts of times. When male students were shown pictures of the women, they liked the ones they had seen more often in class, even though they never actually talked to any of them. 3. Compliment other people. The words you use to describe other people can affect how others view you. This is called spontaneous trait transference. Even if someone knows that a certain quality doesn't describe the person who spoke about it, they may still associate that quality with the speaker. For example, if you say that someone is honest and friendly, people might think you are those things too. But if you talk badly about others, your friends might start to think you are a negative person too. So, it's important to be mindful of the words you use when talking about others, because they can reflect back on you. 4. Try to display positive emotions. Have you ever noticed that when someone around you is happy, you feel happy too? That's called emotional contagion. Basically, it means that we can catch other people's emotions without even realizing it. Researchers from Ohio University and the University of Hawaii found that we might do this because we copy other people's body language and facial expressions. When we do that, we start to feel similar emotions as them. So, if you want to help others feel happy, try to show positive emotions yourself. 5. Be warm and competent. Psychologists from Princeton University and other institutions have come up with a theory called the stereotype content model. This theory suggests that people judge others based on how friendly and competent they seem. If you appear friendly, people will trust you more. If you appear competent, people will respect you more. Harvard psychologist Amy Cuddy suggests that it's important to show your friendly side first and then your competence, especially in business settings. This is because it's more important for our survival to know whether we can trust someone. 6. Reveal your flaws from time to time. The pratfall effect is when people like you more after you make a mistake, but only if they already think you're good at what you do. This is because when you show that you're not perfect, people feel like they can relate to you better and that you're more approachable. A researcher named Elliot Aronson at the University of Texas, Austin found out about this effect when he studied how simple mistakes can change how much people like you. He asked some male students from the University of Minnesota to listen to recordings of people taking a quiz. He found out that when people did well on the quiz but spilled coffee at the end of the interview, the students liked them more than when they did well on the quiz and didn't spill coffee, or when they did badly on the quiz and spilled coffee. 7. Casually touch them. Subliminal touching occurs when you touch a person so subtly that they barely notice. Common examples include tapping someone's back or touching their arm, which can make them feel more warmly toward you. In a French study, young men stood on street corners and talked to women who walked by. The men had double the success rate in striking up a conversation when they lightly touched the woman's arms as they talked to them instead of doing nothing at all. A University of Mississippi and Rhodes College experiment studied the effects of interpersonal touch on restaurant tipping and had some waitresses briefly touch customers on the hand or shoulder as they were returning their change. As it turns out, those waitresses earned significantly larger tips than the ones who didn't touch their customers. 8. Smile. In a study at the University of Wyoming, almost 100 female students looked at photos of another woman in different poses. The researchers found that people liked the woman in the picture the most when she was smiling, regardless of how she was standing. Another study conducted by researchers at Stanford University and the University of Duisburg-Essen found that students who used avatars to interact with each other felt more positive about their interaction when the avatar was smiling a lot. Lastly, another study showed that when you meet someone and smile, it can help them remember you better later on. 9. See the other person how they want to be seen. People want to be perceived in a way that aligns with their own beliefs about themselves. This phenomenon is described by self-verification theory. We all seek confirmations of our views, positive or negative. For a series of studies at Stanford University, and the University of Arizona, participants with positive and negative perceptions of themselves were asked whether they wanted to interact with people who had positive or negative impressions of them. The participants with positive self-views preferred people who thought highly of them, while those with negative self-views preferred critics. This could be because people like to interact with those who provide feedback consistent with their known identity. Other research suggests that when people's beliefs about us line up with our own, our relationship with them flows more smoothly. That's likely because we feel understood, which is an important component of intimacy. 10. Tell them a secret. Sharing personal information about yourself can help build stronger relationships with others. In a study, college students were paired up and asked to get to know each other. Some pairs were given deep and personal questions to ask each other, while others were given small talk questions. The students who asked the deep questions felt much closer to each other than the ones who engaged in small talk. You can try this technique by starting with easy questions and gradually asking more personal ones, which can help others feel closer to you and more likely to trust you in the future. 11. Show that you can keep their secrets. 2. Some studies conducted by researchers from different universities found that people think trust and being trustworthy are very important in relationships. Trust and trustworthiness were especially important when people were thinking about the kind of friend or employee they want. Being trustworthy means being honest, dependable, and loyal. Honesty and dependability are the most important components of trustworthiness when it comes to friendships. 12. Display a sense of humor. Research from Illinois State University and California State University at Los Angeles found that, regardless of whether people were thinking about their ideal friend or romantic partner, a sense of humor was really important. Another study from researchers at DePaul University and Illinois State University found that using humor when you're first getting to know someone can make the person like you more. In fact, the study suggested that participating in a humorous task can increase romantic attraction. 13. Let them talk about themselves. Researchers from Harvard University have found that talking about yourself may make you feel good in the same way that eating your favorite food, getting paid, or having sex does. To study this, they asked participants to sit in a machine that measures brain activity while answering questions about their own opinions or someone else's. The participants brought a friend or family member to the experiment who was waiting outside. Sometimes the participants were told that their responses would be shared with their friend or family member, while other times their responses would be kept private. The results showed that when participants were sharing information about themselves publicly or just talking about themselves without anyone listening, the brain regions related to motivation and reward were most active. This means that if you let someone talk about themselves instead of only talking about yourself, they are likely to have a more positive memory of your interaction. 14. Act like you like them. Psychologists have discovered something called reciprocity of liking. It means that if we think someone likes us, we tend to like them back. For example, in a study in 1959, people were told that some members of a group discussion would like them. Afterwards, they found that they liked the people who supposedly liked them. Recently, researchers found that if we think someone will accept us, we act friendlier towards them, making it more likely that they will like us. So, even if you're not sure how someone feels about you, try acting like you like them, and they'll probably like you back. Thanks for watching my video on 14 psychological tricks to immediately make people like you. By applying these tricks, you can create positive interactions with people and build strong relationships in your personal and professional life. Remember, these tricks are not manipulative or deceptive, but rather simple and effective ways to improve your social skills and make genuine connections with others. Don't forget to give it a try and let me know in the comments how these tricks worked for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.